grade 7 learners. We are now about to start our class. Most essential learning competency or MELC. Use the passive and active voice meaningfully in varied contexts. I have here some guide questions for you. Number 1. What is the video all about? Number 2. Who is the subject? Is he or she the doer or performer? Is he or she a receiver of the action? Text. Now, here's the video. Here are the guide questions. Number 1. What is the video all about? As we see in the video, it's all about the dialogue of David and Lucellis. Number 2. Who is the subject? Is he or she the doer or performer? Is he or she a receiver of the action? Let's see. Based on the video, we can see the two of them talking to each other. In the left bubble, Lucellis is telling that they are going to watch a movie tonight. Who is the doer? The doer is we. The receiver of the action is a movie. Meanwhile, in the second bubble, the subject is the movie and the receiver is us. If you see, there's a word by. We are going to talk about how the by is being used in the sentence. Here's the next dialogue. The dialogue is all about cleaning the house every Monday. In the first bubble, the subject is I, while the receiver of the action is the house. Meanwhile, in the second bubble, the subject is the house, while the receiver of the action is you. Here's the next dialogue. In this first bubble, Dad is the subject. The house is the receiver of the action. Meanwhile, in the second bubble, the house is the subject, while father or dad is the receiver of the action. In this last dialogue, the first bubble indicates that you is the doer or performer, while the guitar is the receiver of the action. Meanwhile, in the second bubble, in the dialogue, the guitar is the doer or performer of the action, and you is the receiver of the action. Do you have an idea what is our lesson for today? Our lesson for today in the quarter 1, week 3 is all about passive and active voices. Voices of the verb focuses on the function of the subject. being either the doer or performer or the receiver of the action. They are classified as to A, active, and B, passive. Based on the example earlier, there's a doer and receiver of the action. Active voice occurs when the subject of the sentence acts as the performer of doer of the action, while passive voice indicated that the subject of the sentence is the receiver of the action. Though it is not always present, the doer of the action in passive voice is introduced by the preposition by. As I told you a while ago, in the sample dialogue given, there was a preposition by. It indicates that the voice of the sentence is in passive voice. Here are the examples. For the active voice, the sentence is this: the teachers prepared the materials for their classes. Teachers, the subject or the doer of the action. Meanwhile, the materials, the predicate or the receiver of the action. Here's another example in the passive voice. The materials were prepared by the teachers for their classes. Here in this sentence, materials, subject or receiver of the action, while teachers is the predicate or the doer of the action. In transforming a verb from active to passive or vice versa, take note of the tense of the verb. If the verb in active voice is in present tense, the passive voice should also be in passive voice and vice versa. However, the form of the verb as to S or simple forms vary depending on the number of the subjects. In passive voice, the main verb is usually introduced by an auxiliary verb. Here are the examples. Letter A, simple present tense. Active voice. Jason prepares his meals. Please take note that prepares is in the present tense. His meals are prepared by Jason. In this passive form of sentence, are prepared is in simple present tense. Letter B, simple past tense. Ethan informed his clients on the status of their order. Informed is being classified as simple past tense. His clients were informed by Ethan on the status of their order. In this passive form of sentence, were informed is in the simple past tense. Letter C, simple future tense. The students will submit their report tomorrow. In this active form of sentence, will submit is in simple future tense. Meanwhile, in the passive form of sentence, their report will be submitted by the students tomorrow. Will be submitted is in simple future tense. Letter D, present perfect tense. Active voice. The school has decided to shut off its operations. Has decided is in present perfect tense. Passive voice. Its operations has been decided to shut off by the school. Has been decided is in present perfect tense. Past perfect tense. Athena had studied English before she moved to the US. In this active form of sentence, had studied is in past perfect tense. English had been studied by Athena before she moved to the US. Had been studied is in past perfect tense in this passive voice form of the sentence. Letter F, future perfect tense. Active voice. Anthony will have baked the cake before he leaves. Will have baked is in future perfect tense. Passive voice. The cake will have been baked by Anthony before he leaves. Will have been baked is in future perfect tense. That will be all for now for this week 3 of our lesson. Thank you very much.